Now, let's expand our focus to creative teams, starting with audio post and pro mixing. These folks are under a lot of pressure to generate more content in more varieties and formats than ever before, with super fast turnaround times. And to do this, they need the right tools and collaborative workflow to connect the entire production team. So let's take a look at what we've been working on in this area.
We have recently installed the largest S6 console in the world, I believe. And the challenge was to integrate this quickly and seamlessly into the facility without changing the whole structure of the stage. The Matrix and its ability to switch and to be pre-programmed for various different models of how a room is configured allows us to have a complete digital pathway. Do all our routing and switching. Dante out into the amplifiers keeps the pathway super clean. The Matrix was a godsend to us.
So we've been using the MTRX in 3 rooms. And one of the reasons we love it so much is it enables us to tie multiple Pro Tools systems together in a room and create a truly virtual environment of a larger scale project. Then, as soon as you've got these multiple systems, the obvious question is, well, they're all working on the same project at the same time. How do you manage to tie all of that together? That's where Nexus comes in. You have to be able to centralize the project. That's where the whole of this sort of universe of connectivity comes together. You start connecting systems, and you start connecting the data that those systems are using, and then you're really starting to open up the boundaries into a whole new world.
Now, the products you just saw there really speak to what we're all about, delivering the technology that frees you to create and collaborate. So we have the new Pro Tools Matrix you just saw there. It's our next generation I/O for Pro Tools HD, and this thing is a beast. It delivers 64 channels of I/O for Pro Tools, over 1,000 channels of MADI, plus all of the other digital formats you could possibly want, AES, Dante, and SDI. It'll easily tackle the most demanding post-production environments you can throw at it. And today, we're also announcing the latest software release for Nexus. So last year, we launched Nexus for video and broadcast workflows. This year, we're bringing the power of Nexus to audio. And for audio pros, it's all about centralizing storage. So this latest release really delivers a lot of new capability. First off, it's faster with speeds workflow with faster disk caching, file analysis, rendering, session caching, also much higher track counts, and of course, multi-seat support for Pro Tools in a shared workgroup environment. So it's really huge. So audio and video creatives can now share large projects with ease. So Matrix and Nexus, we connect everything and everybody in your workflow, and it's all powered by the platform. Now, another big trend in cinema and home theater is immersive audio. And that's why Dolby Atmos is becoming one of the hottest things out there right now, because it lets mixers create an incredibly engaging audience experience. But if you've ever worked in here and tried to create content, it can be a very tedious and time-consuming process to actually mix in this format. And so we set out with Dolby to fix all that. So let's take a look at this video.
One of my favorite things about Atmos is that the room just disappears. You're no longer worried about speakers and where things are coming from. It's just like, I want that sound to come from there, I want that sound to come from there.
Dolby Atmos allows theatrical audience to hear something that's sort of big and powerful without being overly loud, because it can be more immersive. You're being more specific and directive of how sounds are playing.
I was so happy to see that the implementation of Dolby Atmos in Pro Tools is even better than I would have expected. Everything's been thought of in terms of the fact that you can now automate back and forth between the bed and an object. That is so huge.
Well, there's so many positive aspects of Dolby Atmos, because it just makes filmmakers and sound people even more excited about the sound process. It's nice to help keep rejuvenating and inspiring.
It's going to make our jobs that much easier.
So Will and Mark are among the absolute best in audio post, and what we're announcing today is going to be huge for them in all mixers. Introducing native Atmos support in Pro Tools. Thanks. So we've partnered with Dolby to deeply integrate Dolby Atmos right within the Pro Tools environment. So what this means is we've built in native Atmos support for stems, object panning, S6 mixing control, automated routing and busing, and so much more. Nobody has anything close to this level of integration. And not only is it the most powerful and efficient Atmos immersive mixing workflow in the industry, it's also the most affordable. It's a totally integrated experience made possible by the platform. And if you want to see this up close and personal, we actually have a full Atmos rig set up on our booth in the main stage. Come on down, check it out. It is just stunning. Okay, so just like their partners in audio, video post professionals today also need to create high-quality content, high-quality immersive content quickly. And they have to get it out in more outlets and devices, and they too face constant pressure to turn work around faster and more efficiently. And we're all about helping them do this. And one of the most time-consuming and frustrating things can be just finding the right take. So if anybody's an editor in here, that can be one of the most tedious, time-consuming things. And we're pretty excited about this next thing we're going to be announcing. So let's take a look.
When I try to describe what script sync is to people who've never seen it before, I ask them if they've ever seen the line script that a script supervisor will be creating on set. You have the dialogue on the page, and this is a file that's next to the dialogue that you can click on that takes you to that line of dialogue. It's invaluable.
It probably takes about 15 hours out of my week. I mean, it speeds up my process that much.
When other editors come to visit my office, one of the first things that I show them is script sync because it's so cool. So I will just come up with a phrase that I remember somebody saying, and I'll show them how I can quickly go to that moment and then press and play. I'm very happy that it's back.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're very pleased to bring back Script Sync and Phrase Find. Yes. Now actually, Script Sync isn't just back, it's better than ever. So the phonetic indexing is faster, it supports more languages, you can even edit the script after you bring it into Media Composer. And for those of you who haven't used this is one of those killer app features. It's just such a time saver for anyone under tight deadlines. And we're really excited to have it back in Media Composer, and it's yet another example of the power of the platform. Now, we also know how tough it is to deal with so many different variables in your workflow. The ever-expanding number of formats alone are a huge headache. One project now can have resolutions from standard def all the way to ultra-high def, 4K, and beyond. And you have to be able to move all of this high-res material between workgroup members really quickly and efficiently. And we're helping here too. Check this out.
As everyone knows, we are a documentary company, and just about everything we do is sort of from a doc heritage. Sort of the foundation of our post-production facility here is the Avid shared storage, and that's all Ethernet drops to all of our systems. We have 26 edits now between assistant editor stations.
We have 4 different digital series that have 90 different episodes between them. And they're all moving back and forth between different edit stations, across, the entire office. Different editors are working on them.
The beautiful thing about the DNX-IO that got us all excited when we had the chance to work with it was this ability to switch between an Avid I/O box and a box that could also work with Resolve. Everything we do needs to be a Swiss Army knife, and the DNX-IO is that box.
So as you can see from that video, how great DNX-IO is. And today, I'm very pleased to announce the new Avid Artist DNX-IQ. It's our next generation video interface that supports about just any project type. So DNX-IQ really eliminates the headaches of dealing with all the different variations in your workflow. So just like DNX-IO, its predecessor, it supports standard def, HD, 2K, ultra high res, 4K, ingest, monitoring, and output. So those are the basics. But it's also, DNX-IQ is even faster with Thunderbolt 3 and PCIe Gen 3 connectivity. And it's even smarter with features like universal mastering functionality that lets you cross-convert your sequence to different rasters and frame rates on output. Now, this thing is really powerful, and it'll give any creative team a big leg up delivering high-quality content within very tight time frames. Now, in the video you also just saw, we mentioned shared storage. That's Nexus. The new version of Nexus Pro delivers 50% greater throughput, which means more 4K and UHD streams. This is perfect. It's ideal for any small work groups that are working in high res like finishing. And because DNxIQ and Nexus Pro were designed using the open architecture of the platform, they support every major video editing tool like Premiere, Resolve, Final Cut, and of course, Media Composer. That's the power of the platform.